Hello, you lovely, lovely people again. Sunglasses now because the sun has been out for the last few days. It's nice to see the sun. I was wondering what it was when it come out, especially being in the tropics. There was no sun for a while. Navigating yourself around your wife's in-laws, or your in-laws, you know, your wife's parents, can be it can be a bit of a minefield. As I've kind of experienced to a degree, but not direct, from my wife's mother and father. They're normally okay, so I think I'm lucky with that one. But you've got to understand the concept of the Philippine culture. Like it or not, it's how it is, where you are expected to be some kind of provider. And this is a warning, guys. This is a warning. I was talking to a foreigner. What day is it today? Wednesday. Sunday, when I was over at Sawang, when I was getting my boat engine. And there was a foreigner there, and rather a large family that was there. There was his wife, and all of the wife's family. All of the wife's family was there. And I think, I mean, I didn't ask, but I think his wife had children previous to the foreigner, because they didn't look like foreigner, you know, they didn't look like half Filipino and half foreigner. They looked all Filipino. And we got talking a little bit, and he was saying to me everything that I could relate to, whereas their family do expect. And he finds it very difficult, because what normally happens here in the Philippines is, depending on where you are, but let's just say you're in a province, families normally live very close together. And generally, the daughters and the sons, but mainly the daughters, they don't leave home until they get a partner. So normally they stay in the same house as the parents until, you know, such a time that they meet someone. And many Filipinos are looking for foreigners, and it's not because we're any better looking, because we certainly aren't. And it's not because we're better people, because we certainly aren't. It's purely because of the financial support as well, which you can understand that. So once they find a foreigner, and guys as well, I mean, if you're out here and you'll have no problem finding a girlfriend here, no problem. But you got to bear in mind, the main thing behind it, and is it solely because of your finances? Well, there's going to be quite a high percentage that it is. The odds are going to be quite high that it is going to be for that. But once you're with someone and it is for that financial support from the very beginning, then perhaps it can grow into something. It can maybe grow into feelings and love on her side to you. I don't know. But you've got to understand, though, people, there's always going to be that financial support for the in-laws. And I'm lucky in the way that my wife's family, her siblings, they're all daughters. She's got one brother. And normally what happens, so I've been told, is when you're with a Filipina and they've got lots of brothers, the brothers will be expecting money from the sister that's with the foreigner. And this is true. So, I mean, if you do get with a Filipina, try and make sure that she's either got no brothers or the brothers are working professionals. It's going to be quite difficult. I know it's it's going to be quite difficult. But try if you can. Try. It is a minefield out here. It's potluck. It's a minefield, and you never know what you're going to get. Like Forrest Gump said in the movie, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And it's very true in all aspects, I think. And what normally happens here is, or what does happen, you might think to yourself, well, like, I'll get with this Filipina and we'll move away. We'll move to a different place. Well, they might do that in the beginning, but again, the chances are she's not going to want to move too far from her family. I'm quite lucky with my wife because my wife's family are in Liloy, the immediate family, her mum, her dad, her sisters. And her sisters have never asked for anything. Her sisters are married, 2 Filipinos, and one's in the army, one's in the police. So I think it's them that's given the support to the parents, because they did ask me several times. And I'll tell you what happened at first, which was, to me, it was just terrible. When I first met my wife, right, which was 6 years ago, I think now. It might be 7 years ago. I lose track of time being here. Well, her parents, they wanted to meet me, okay? So they came to Dipolog because they didn't want me to go down to where they were, because the MPA and things in the mountains, because they live in the mountains. So they came here. Not here to where I am, but in Dipolog City when I was there. And I paid for the fare. That's fair enough. Now, they got a bus here, an aircon bus, and it was a long drive. I think they said 3.5, 4 hours. Father didn't speak a word of English, which was okay. He's Filipino. You don't expect that. The mother spoke a bit of English. So I said to my wife, I said, how am I going to communicate, So my wife, she wrote out in Visayan for me to say to her parents. I told her what to write, because, what I wanted to say, So I read it out in Visayan to her parents, and her parents were all okay. And what happened was, when they were wanting to go back, which was the following day, they wanted a van, They wanted to go back in a bit more style, a bit of a luxury. So I thought, yeah, that's okay, fair play. And then they said it's 6,000 pesos. Well, I knew it was only 3,000. So I said to my wife at the time, I said, no, Mira. I said, I know this is the first time I've seen your parents, but I know it's 3,000. I said, I was going to give them the 3,000 plus 1,000 for something to eat on the way back. But I said, I'm not giving them the 6,000 pesos when I know it's not that. So my wife went back, and they had a big argument. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's happening now? And my wife said, I've told them, Stephen, not to exploit you. Okay? This was her parents. And I've never seen her parents since. I've never seen her parents after that first initial meeting. I've seen them on, the video form when they've been phoning Mira sometimes. And I know when they call him Mira or when they message him Mira, even the sisters from time to time, they are after something. Well, my wife just, no. Because we've got our own family, to think of. And like I said before, these Filipino families, when they have like too many kids or lots of kids, that's them being irresponsible. If they can't afford to bring them up, that's not my problem. That's not my fault. They should have thought about all this, when they were jiggy, when they were like, oh, we'll spit another child out, we'll spit another one out, we'll spit another one out. It's just totally irresponsible. Because children, to bring them up correctly in any country, costs money. Or unless you just want them, like chickens, you put them out on the street in the morning and then you just chuck a bit of chicken feed out to feed them in the daytime. I see that here. It's terrible, and these children haven't got a chance. Not through their own fault, because, they didn't ask to be born. They didn't ask to be brought into this world. It's just irresponsible people. Now, thankfully, even in this province where I am, the younger generation, they just having 1 or 2 children because they realise that to get a good start in life, especially in the Philippines, guys, you need some kind of education. So you need to be a professional, unless you want to work on construction sites for 300, 400, 500 pesos a day. And that's bloody hard work. It's all manual. It's bloody hard work indeed. It's all manual labour here. So people, when you kind of get yourself into the relationship with a Filipina, just make sure what you're getting yourself into. Don't let your heart rule your head, because that's easy to do. I did it first time round here and I come unstuck. So everything I'm speaking about is through past experience, more or less, or through talking to other foreigners. I try and keep it real. Many people paint a paradise picture of the Philippines, and if you're on vacation or you're only coming here periodically for a month at a time and going back, then it is a paradise place. But when you're thinking of retiring here and living here, it's not so. It's not so. It can be quite challenging and it can be quite difficult, and it's not as cheap as what people think. When you've got children, we live on very little, as I've said before, because we don't live above our means, and we've learned to live on what we got. Which is okay for us. We don't go short, guys. We don't go short. But it can be a minefield. Like I've said, you've got to be very careful. You've got to tread carefully. You've got to watch what you're doing, and you've got to watch who you go with. Like I said, don't let your heart, rule your head. Getting into relationship-wise, and I was a fool with my, my wife's uncle and auntie by keep giving and giving, but that's come to an end now. That's stopped. I went to see them, sorted it out. They're perfectly fine. So what I would suggest is, when you first meet the family, it could be a gesture to take them out or to do something, but you've got to make it quite clear from the start that you are not a rich person. You are here maybe because the money that you have will not travel very far in the country that you're in. By the time you pay this, pay that, you've got no money. So I think you've got to get that through and tell them you're here because you're not a rich person in your own country, and you're not rich here, but you've got a little bit of money to take care of your girlfriend or your wife, and that's it. Because if you go around flashing your money around here, like feeling big, feeling clever, when you meet that Filipina and she introduces you to the family, you might want to act clever, and you might want to act like, yes, I've got plenty of money, I'll take care of your daughter. That's the worst thing you can do. Just be modest, be humble, and just try not to do what I did. Get involved with the families and try and help the families, because it never ends. It never ends, people. And some foreigners who are maybe going to watch this video maybe can relate to what I'm saying. So keeping it real, guys, with these videos, that's what I try and do. I try and keep everything as real as I possibly can. I don't paint, pictures of, paradise and there is never any problems in the Philippines, because that's simply not true. It's not true. If you're living here, it's not true. I mean, if you're like a rich person and you don't mind doing this and doing that, then this place can be paradise for you. But that still doesn't stop the challenges of having no electric and things like that from time to time, and getting used to the Filipino, their no concept of time, because they simply haven't got no concept of time. You can arrange to meet someone at 9 o'clock and they might not turn up till 12, if you're lucky. That's just the way it is. Doesn't bother me anymore. So, again, people, when you get with a girl, just watch the in-laws, okay? Just be very careful. Just be very ginger with it all. Don't be taken up by a beautiful Filipina. And because the family will be great to you, I guarantee it. I guarantee. You will think, my God, this family's great. I can't believe how the families are in the Philippines. They're so good. They're so friendly. There is normally something behind that. And the thing that is behind that is that. So, a good test is, see if your Filipina will move away from where, just talk about it. See if she'll move away from where the parents are. And if she says yes, and she seems sincere, then that's a good sign. But if she says, oh no, I can't leave my parents, then you're probably best off walking away from that one. You probably are, because she's still holding on to the apron strings of the parents. And the parents will be holding on to your apron strings and to your wallet, probably, more like. Anyway, people, that's it. I just thought I'd just, you know, get that off my chest because of talking to that foreigner on Sawang Beach. And he didn't look happy. I would be honest, where am I walking here? I'm not walking in the correct place here. I've come around a different way. He didn't look happy at all. And I could see he wasn't happy. I think he was happy when I started talking to him, but I didn't ask too much what was going on. But I think there was 4 kids that she had. 4 kids. Hell, oof. Getting involved with a Filipino. I know your heart can't, you know, when you fall in love with someone, but oh, that's a bit of a tall ask, that. Going with someone with 4 kids. Someone else's kids, that's a bit of a, that's a tall story. I couldn't do it. So that man is a better man than me, but as I said, he didn't look happy. They probably bleeding him dry. And they were staying there the night in a tent. 2 tents, I think there was one for him and his wife and the kids, and one for all of the other people. And all the things that was on the beach, he obviously paid for it because it was all all expensive stuff. And they were just digging in and laughing and smoking cigarettes like the Filipinos. Probably all on his wallet. So be careful, in-laws, be careful with them when you get with a Filipino. Thank you, people, and thanks for always, you know, dropping by and having a little look at my videos. I do appreciate it. And my subscriptions have gone mental, flying up. So I must be doing something right. If you like the video, I want to do what everyone else does. Please subscribe, like and share. If you don't, then it's okay. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.